Do you want to turn a property into a cash flowing Airbnb, but don't know what items to buy, where to buy them from, or how much of them to get? We've set up 17 properties in the last 2 years to get Airbnb guests ready, so we have a pretty good handle on how to successfully set up a property.
And that's how it's done.
And in today's video, we're going to share how you can maximize your cash flow and set your property up like a pro.
We are the Real Estate Robinsons.
Hey everyone, if this is your first time here, I'm Tony.
I'm Sarah.
And we're real estate investors who quit our day jobs by investing in short-term rentals, and we're here to show you how you can do the same.
So many people love the idea of investing in short-term rentals and making passive income from them. But I think many people don't realize how much work actually needs to be put in, especially in the beginning, to make sure the property is set up for success.
One of the most important parts of starting a short-term rental business is making sure you are setting up the property in a way that it can generate 5-star reviews and be a smooth process for both you and your guest, and be more passive operationally after you go live with it. That's a lot of ands.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. So in today's video, we're going to break down the exact steps you need to take to set up your short-term rental like a pro. Let's start by explaining why it's so important to properly set up prior to hosting your first guest.
The short-term rental game is all about reviews. If you have great reviews, the more likely it is that your listing will populate on that first page that guests are seeing when they're searching for bookings, which makes it more likely that someone will actually book your place.
And if you have poor reviews, the less likely it is that your listing will show up in the top results, and less likely someone will then book your place. Just like Yelp, when you find 2 Mexican restaurants, let's say, you'll decide which one you will actually want to eat at after you look at who has the more and better reviews, right? So it's the same thing with Airbnb and Vrbo.
So when taking a new listing live, the first few reviews are so critical to the success and the trajectory of your property. If you start off with amazing reviews, the bookings are more likely to come in, and you'll continue to accumulate more and more positive reviews.
If your first few reviews are poor, then you'll be starting your business in a super rocky way and have a really hard time digging yourself out of that hole.
That's not going to be good for business.
So now that we've explained why it's so important to properly set up your property prior to hosting your first guest, let's talk about how to set it up.
Now, obviously, things are going to be different for every person and their specific property, but this has been our strategy for our properties, which has been a mixture of new construction and rehabs and previous short-term rentals that we kind of refreshed, and that's in multiple markets across the United States.
Now, we strongly encourage you to actually start setting up your property even before you close escrow. So we personally don't wait until we close escrow to start buying things. Instead, we do the opposite. We are almost actually completely done and guest ready by the time we close escrow.
So a lot of that kind of varies by the project and who we're buying from.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if we have a relationship with certain builders in some markets, and we purchase multiple houses from the same builder. So with that relationship, we know we can literally ship everything to the house and have everything, like the furniture is literally built by the time that we close. Other properties, like if it's a rehab, maybe we'll start ordering some of the tile and stuff and we'll ship it to our contractor's house, but we typically aren't ordering everything. So it kind of depends on the property. But for us, even if a property kind of falls out of contract during escrow, we have so many projects we're working on that we'll just literally move the material from one house to the next house. Now, it's never happened to us where we didn't close in a property where we like ordered stuff, but that's what we do if we had to.
So when you get a property under contract, the first thing you should do is figure out the design of the space. We talk about this all the time, but the way to really maximize your cash flow from the property is really going to depend on how you design it. So what is going to make someone stop on your listing and click through to see more and hook them in?
The design of your property will sell your property for itself. So get the measurements of the spaces, take photos of every room or every corner, and then use that to either design the space yourself or reach out to an interior designer to do it for you. And for those of you that need a little bit of help with the design process, we have an in-house designer, and she's accepting new clients. And we obviously recommend her. So if you'd like to get your design done, head over to therealestaterobinsons.com www.airbnb.com/design, and you can book a free consultation with our in-house designer.
It's important to design the space first because we all know how long it can take to get things shipped and delivered to the property. Super annoying if you're completely guest ready, but the master bed frame hasn't arrived yet, so you can't go live because you don't have the bed frame.
You know, that really grinds my gears.
So for time efficiency, get the design and order all of the major furniture, pieces, and appliances like ASAP.
And tile if you need, or like materials.
Yeah, if you're doing like
rehabbing.
rehabs and stuff. And if you're wondering where you should go to ship these items, again, it's going to look different for every person, every project, but we've done it a few different ways.
So while we're under contract and don't have access to the property yet, we'll ship everything to our primary residence, then get a big U-Haul one day and take everything out there after we've officially closed. Or we'll ship things directly to the property and have our handyman and cleaners bring in the deliveries for us every couple of days, of course, with the permission of the seller.
For our tiny homes in Joshua Tree, we actually get permission from the contractor to install a Ring camera and the keyless entry pad at the front door before we even start ordering the furniture.
Yeah.
That way we can keep tabs on the deliveries. So if you think that the seller of the property you're buying may be open to that, or even if they're open to you taking over their existing Ring camera, it doesn't hurt to ask. Like, you never know what their response might be.
And it's so helpful to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like access to.
And if anything, that should make them feel more comfortable about you being serious about the transaction.
So now that you've got the design, ordered all the major furniture and appliances, installed the Ring camera and the keyless entry pad, it's time to set up all of the utilities. Make sure that the hot water is working, make sure that the AC and the heater are working, make sure the trash, water, gas, internet, and electricity are all set up. We've set up a few brand new construction homes, and the hot water heater wasn't connected to the new propane tank, which made the hot water not work. And trust us when we say guests do not like showering in cold water and will 1000% be grumpy, ask for a refund, and leave you a bad review. So learn from our mistakes and triple check that not only are all of the utilities set up, but actually personally go and check them or have your crew do that. Check the water, check all of the light switches, check the Wi-Fi, and make sure that all of them are up and working the way they should be.
So now that the big stuff is handled, we'll now order all of the household essentials such as like the mattress, the TVs, the sheets, the towels, the kitchen supplies, bathroom supplies, and everything in between. So this is where I think many people stress when you don't have to. It can be tricky to know what to get, how many items to get and where to get it all from. We like to make it super easy for ourselves, and we literally order everything straight from Amazon.
Everything from Amazon.
And just like as a pro tip, like the smallest number of places that you can order from, the better. It's so hard to track your deliveries if you're ordering from like 18 different places. It's a different, delivery tracking, different carriers, different dates, like different everything. So if you can order from one location, your life will be tremendously easier.
Great tip.
Great. Really great.
So we've actually created a free downloadable Amazon shopping list that you can reference when ordering your own essentials, but it literally lists every single thing we order, and some things vary depending on the color design, palette obviously, and guest accommodation size of the property. So if you need to be told exactly what to buy, head over to therealestaterobinsons.com/shopping list to get our free shopping list. You're welcome.
We also love ordering from Amazon for the household essentials because 1, it's quick delivery, 2, pretty decent quality and variety, 3, super easy returns, and 4, really easy to reorder. Like, we literally have like a reorder list in Amazon for all these household essentials. Now, as far as how much to order, again, that will all vary based on each specific property and how many guests you can accommodate. But a good rule of thumb is to have 3 sets per bed as far as like bedding, sheets and linens and all that stuff goes. Your dishes should have enough for every person you say your place can accommodate. So if your listing says that you sleep 8, you should have at least 8 bowls, 8 plates, 8 forks, 8 spoons, 8 knives, 8 cups, and so on and so forth.
And for items like TVs and any other amenities, it's a personal preference, really. We'd recommend looking at other top performing listings in that market and see, do they have TVs in every bedroom, or is it just in the living rooms? This will help you decide what is best for your listing, and again, really maximize on the cash flow for that specific property. This step of ordering household essentials can also be very stressful because of the setup piece. So when you order all of these items, like from Amazon, you'll be shocked at what it actually looks like in Amazon box delivery form. Like we are like almost 20 properties in, and I almost every time am like flabbergasted with sometimes they like overpack, they could have like consolidated.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a lot of boxes, so don't freak out about that. This is just the essentials for a 391 square foot tiny house. So mentally prepare yourself and the people that live in your house that there are going to be a lot of boxes coming in soon.
And a pro tip, if you're setting up more than one property or just placing orders for your personal house along with items for your short-term rental, be sure to label the items at the checkout on Amazon with the name of the property address section. So like we always have more than one property that we're working on. So we always put like the name of the property dash the name of the street to help us separate all the orders coming in without actually having to open up the boxes to see what's inside. So like, like when you put who the person ordering is, just change the name to the name of the property.
That was a life changer for us. Yeah.
I think that was my idea.
Okay, then once you get all of the household essentials, set those up. Make sure you take off all of the tags, all of the stickers, the wrappers, plug them in, test the appliances, and have everything organized in the way you want your cleaners to continue keeping things and maintaining the property. Using dividers and a label maker will literally change your life, so highly recommend those.
Now, we set up our first few properties by ourselves, but now we pretty much ship all of the essentials to our cleaner or our handyman, and then we pay them for their time to completely set these items up for us. So if you're setting up remotely, this would definitely be the best route to go.
But before we move on to the next step, we'd really appreciate if you guys could give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications. We are a new channel and we have a really big goal of getting to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so help us get there.
Also be sure to connect with us on Instagram. I'm at Tony J. Robinson. My lovely wife is at Sarah Rad, and we're at The Real Estate Robinsons on TikTok. We've also got a totally free download for all of our subscribers. If you head over to alphageekcapital.com/calculator, we've put together a totally free tool that helps you analyze a property you're considering purchasing as a short-term rental.
And we also have a huge short-term rental focus specific conference that we are hosting in Newport Beach, California on September 11th through the 13th. We actually have early bird pricing tickets out now. So if you're interested, grab those before the prices go up. You can check out more information at strsummit.com. And I promise you guys, if you are interested even a little bit in starting your own short-term rental business, these are the type of events you need to be attending. So we're so excited to be hosting our very own, and I hope to see you guys there.
Last, if you're not yet an Airbnb host, be sure to sign up using our link in the description. You'll get a cash bonus for signing up, and we'll get a small cash bonus for referring you as well.
All right, now that all of the furniture, utilities, and household essentials are all set up, you can add your final touches, like hire a muralist to give your space an edge. Hire a handyman to build a cool outdoor feature. Add fake plants and more wall art and small decor that you find like at Home Goods or at Ross. Print your house rules and guidebook on cute placards and place them throughout the house. Make the space really come to life for an Airbnb guest.
Again, thinking in the eyes and brain of an Airbnb guest is what will really allow you to maximize your cash flow.
The quicker your property is set up to start accepting guests after you close escrow, the more money you'll make, obviously. And the cuter your property is, the more money you'll make. So make it cute.
If your hot water is hot and your internet connection is strong and your AC works really well, you'll get better reviews and you'll make more money.
The more household essentials you have, the more money you'll make.
The more comfortable yet fun experiences you provide for your guests, the more money you'll make.
All of these steps have a direct impact on how much money you can really make with your short-term rental. The last and final step we do before we go live is actually staying at the property. So we highly recommend you stay at your own property, stay even just for one night.
Yeah, you'll uncover so many missed things that you'll need to order, exchange, or fix before the first guest comes in. This step is so important because if you don't, your very first guest will be the person to actually discover these things.
Like we already mentioned, we had problems with our hot water not working at one of our properties, and we literally didn't even know because we didn't stay there. So we had no idea that the hot water wasn't even turned on. It was our very first guest at a brand new construction house, so why would the hot water not be on, right? But it was our very first guest who mentioned it to us, and we already had back-to-back bookings for that property. So our first several guests had a really bad experience of showering with no hot water at our newest listing. Obviously, we were so stressed. I was really stressed. I was the one, communicating with the guests. So we had to offer hefty refunds for the inconvenience in order to salvage the review. But had we just stayed at the property to experience our space like a true guest, like we're recommending you do, we could have identified and rectified that problem probably prior to accepting the guest and jeopardizing all of those reviews and being so stressed.
Yeah, when we first started, we were the ones setting up every property, so we literally had to stay there, to get everything set up. But as we've scaled, we've leaned on our team a little bit more to help out with this setup. So I think that's where we got a little bit disconnected, and now we're trying to get back to the point where we can actually go and stay at the properties again, during the setup phase at least.
And let's say you're investing, out of state or something, and you don't have the ability to go stay at the property. I would say create a checklist of all of these items that you want your team that is actually setting up the property to check. So that is something we could have done. If we weren't staying, we could have asked them to send us a video, confirm that the Wi-Fi is on, so do all of these things. The point of this video is to create all of these systems and mark all of these boxes prior to having that first check into your property.
Well, that's it, guys. That is how we set up our properties and our thought process behind getting the property guests ready to maximize profitability.
If you have any follow-up questions, please drop a comment below and we'll do our best to answer it. That's it for today, guys. I'm Sarah.
I'm Tony.
And we are the Real Estate Robinsons.